Order, and it's great to see everybody here. That's great. Is there motion to approve the minutes?
Move. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Minutes approved. Do I see? There you are, Zach. Hey, we don't have Mr. We have no alcohol today.
I guess not, but this does pertain to alcohol, so you are going to be setting a conditional use approval public hearing date for October 25th for the bear trap. So y'all are, I'm sure, familiar with the bear trap. Here's the location, the back of the property. They are going to keep everything the same. They're just going from a gastropub to a bar. And that's all I have for y'all. And this is, again, just setting a
I
public
thought we
hearing.
did that last.
Yeah, we talked about that.
So y'all gave them the approval for their alcohol license, but they have to get their conditional use approval prior to actually
Okay.
going to, yeah.
Any questions for Zach? I think it's a good thing, don't you, Mr. Busby?
I do.
All right, that's unusual, just one, no Mr. Junkin, no alcohol, license, Mayor Maddox?
Yes, sir. I have just one quick announcement. I want to introduce Kimberly Michael as our new Executive Director of Water. She is, her interview was very fascinating to me, but overall what struck me beyond her knowledge, skills, and ability is her passion for our water and sewer system. I think you're going to do a fantastic job leading this very large utility, and invite you to just say a few words to City Council. I know you know all of them well, and but I know how much engineers love public speaking. But
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm excited about it, and just over the last 90 days when Ron and I have been working with the different groups and trying to put things back together for a water and sewer department, I've learned a ton, and everybody's been real supportive, so I'm really excited and can't wait.
if you need anything, please call upon her. Her and her team have done a great job. I can't say enough about Ron back there, who stepped up, and he's another one that loves public speaking as well. But they have really done a yeoman's job and put in next door. It makes me very proud to work with them.
Yeah, and I encourage you, you're very deserving, and I encourage everyone to still take that time to take those tours. I know many of us have visited every plant, and the lake. Kimberly was at, in most of them that I was at, I think, at the time, and Ron may have been, I think, as well, but it's just fascinating. It really is, how everything operates. So I encourage you to get with her and go visit. Is that all you had, Mayor Maddox?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Randy?
All right, so I have quite a few things to go over with you guys today. You all should have a copy of this letter. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just to kind of give you guys a summary, Tara is they're getting ready to start their search for their new executive director. Mr. Miner is getting ready to retire, and they have put together a search committee, and they're asking us to appoint one of you to serve on that selection committee. They would like an answer by next Wednesday, so we can think about it this week and make a decision next week, or if you guys have someone in mind, you can go ahead and get that over to them.
Okay, anybody interested?
I'm interested.
Matthew?
I will do it. I'm not seeking it, but
Okay.
if you actively want it,
Yes. I do.
Mr. Crowe, you mentioned to me yesterday.
I would be interested if y'all wanted me to. Councilman Busby.
I'll talk to everybody and we'll vote next Tuesday. How about that? Okay? And
The next thing that we need to go over is Historic Preservation Commission. Mr. Chris Brooks was appointed last year to fill the unexpired term of Miss Liz Moore. That has come to an end, and he is actually wanting to serve again on a full 3-year term. This position is mayor nominated, council appointed. Mayor's okay with having Mr. Brooks serve again. He's been a wonderful member of HPC, and if you guys would like to have him, we could go ahead and have that ordinance reappointing him next week.
I have no problems.
Let's go. I don't have a problem. Let's go.
All right, and then the last thing we need to go over is Zoning Board of Adjustments. We've got 3 members who have terms that have expired. Michelle Coley, Robert Ennis, and Andrew Robertson. They all have expressed a desire to be reappointed. We actually have had quite a few citizens reach out about zoning board of adjustments. We've actually also received 2 resumes so far. So if you guys would like, you can either reappoint all 3 of them, a couple of them, or we can advertise for resumes for 2 weeks to kind of look and see what we get and before we move forward with the reappointments.
That's what I would prefer, if you'll do that for 2 weeks.
Okay.
I've heard from 2 who are interested, and, but if we can do that for 2 weeks, and then we'll look at resumes, how about that?
Sounds
Is that
good.
okay with
If there's
everyone?
anything else we need to see in the intervening 2 weeks, I'd like to see that would impact our decision.
Sure.
And all 3 of these have expressed
Yes.
desire. Okay. So, make sure.
I thought Michelle was already full time.
She is not.
She's not?
She is not.
Okay, I thought that she was the last time. Okay, very good. All right, we'll do that. Is that all, Brandy?
That's all I have.
Okay,
So, I'm sorry, one question. So Michelle would be moving from supernumerary to full, is
If
that
we vote
correct?
on
If that's
it,
what you
yes.
would like, yes.
And Andrew Robertson is already full,
Yes.
and Bob Ennis obviously is already full. And then the selection of the head of that's internal to them, right?
that's correct. And I'm glad you said that, because I've had a lot of people sending things saying they'd like this person to be chairman, that person to be chairman, and that's not our decision.
So, Mr. Tyler, so it will be 3 appointments, 2 full and 1 supernumerary? Or is it 3 full?
It's,
I thought all 3
Two-
were full.
no, so Michelle is not a full, so it'd be 2 regular positions and then 1 supernumerary position.
And that's something I need to get straight,
Yeah.
because
Because I wanted to know that
the
too.
story told me that Andrew wanted to be supernumerary if Michelle became full member. And
I
then,
heard they were gonna flip.
Yeah.
That they,
that's,
that's what they
that's
wanted.
what they wanted to do.
And I,
I've heard from Matthew differently, so, and Michelle tells me that's how it was. So,
and then, and you know, and I heard from,
but I wanna keep both
Mr.
of them.
Robertson, personally.
Yeah, there's a little drama.
Yeah, and I've heard from Mr. Robertson, and I wanted to see the exact email that was given to him that expressed that he wanted to continue to be a full member. So
Yeah.
then I shared that information with Kip. So, you know, I don't know where the miscommunication came, but I wanted to see it in black and white, and Mr. Robertson did show it to me in black and white.
Yeah. So, anyway, we'll, I hate such conflicting things, because that's, it's just completely opposite of what was told, but it'll all work out in the long run, just like we stopped Texas A&M in that last play of the game. Like Miss Terry said, I wish I'd had my depends on that game, but I didn't.
Hey, if you get a chance, Chris Stewart reposted Coach Saban's breakdown of that final play.
Oh,
This has nothing to do with city business. It is actually fascinating. You love it.
Is this on the field as it happened, or is this afterwards?
It's after, you know, it's kind of like the post game, but it is absolutely, football's a lot more complex than what people think it is.
I'll definitely do that.
For sure.
Because I saw his interview on the field, but I didn't hear what you said. I need to
Oh, it
listen.
was, yeah, you think, my gosh, all that goes into one play, imagine having to do 80 of them again. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, but,
Good. Well,
you know, I felt like you need some comic relief after the tension. of
thank you for
CBS,
that.
so.
Yes, it did.
We may need it also by mid-afternoon today.
We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun.
It's all fun.
Is
Listen,
that what you call this?
This is not.
Kidding, it's a joke.
because I tell you, it's, I was telling someone today, it said, people just don't realize what a most full-time job I've ever had, to be a part-time job. And I thought about that yesterday. I had text Cassius, and I said, I'm in the middle of 2 hours of an insurance presentation. Who's gonna do our, carry our insurance for the next hour of the contract, but it turned out, I was thinking, oh gosh, I'm gonna go to sleep, you know, I'm this afternoon, they're gonna talk all this talk, but it was really interesting because, especially the cyber part of it. I actually, the young lady that came up from South Florida, I learned a lot about cybersecurity, and it's frightening, actually. So, a very important decision that will be made, and myself and Mr. Bobbitt, Mr. England, and Rayanna will bring a recommendation to the council after we do our other interviews. Have another one Friday afternoon. Yeah.
Good.
Yep. Friday afternoon. All right, Mr. Bobbitt. By the way, Tom, you did a great job yesterday. Tom was so thorough and asked the questions that certainly needed to be asked, and I thought overall it went real well.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Well, I'm back again for the second week. It's like having recurring nightmares, I guess.
Does Scott Holmes not come back and week after Florida State loses? Have you noticed that trend?
I wasn't gonna mention
Oh,
that.
that's what it is.
I'm beginning to sense a trend, okay? We're, 2 losses in a row, 2 Tuesdays he's missed in a row.
It's true.
I've
No,
been
to the Florida
envisioning
State
him
fan.
wearing Mickey Mouse ears right now somewhere. in Disney World.
Yeah, he's winging his way home, even as we speak. So. On the agenda this afternoon, matter of fact, good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon.
Today we're gonna start on public hearings on page 2, that'll be page 11. We're gonna be, there's only one thing on public hearings tonight, that's gonna be setting the cost for demolition for a structure at 3427 19th Street, and that is for $4,733.97. Moving on, paragraph 8, resolutions and ordinances not of a general nature, current of operation. Page 12 and 13, you're gonna be tentatively awarding a public works contract to ST Bund Construction for terminal and ARF apron reconstruction at the Tuscaloosa National Airport. You heard about that at projects last week. Page 14, you'll be authorizing the mayor to negotiate an aviation hangar ground lease for the construction of improvements at a new aviation hangar with NHS Management LLC, also at the airport, and heard that last week at property, excuse me. Page 15, you'll be hearing authorizing disbursements from District 2 improvements funds for the senior program at the McDonald Hughes Center luncheon. That is on finance today, and you'll be hearing that there. Page 16, you'll be authorizing the chief financial officer to draft checks for the phase 2 of the Juanita Drive improvements, property acquisitions. Got 35 in hand.
Yeah, we had one yesterday came in.
Got one this morning too. So.
Oh, good.
On page 17, you'll be authorizing Amendment 1 to the fiscal year 2023 general fund reserved for future improvements. You heard that at finance last week. Page 18, you'll be approving job class specifications for the water and sewer department. That was heard at admin last week. Page 19 and 20, you'll be rescinding the original purchase agreement and declaring a sole source and authorizing purchase from Hydra Service, Inc. This involves some pumps that were authorized and ordered back in January by the council. Took some time for them to get here. When they got here, it turns out they're the wrong pumps. So they were sent back, and this is an authorization to purchase the correct pumps. Is that correct? Okay. Going on to paragraph 9, ordinances and resolutions of a general nature, permanent operation. Page 21, you'll be amending exhibits A and B of section 19-42 and 19-60A rather, regarding the water and sewer department and IT. You heard about that admin last week. Page 22, reappointing members to the various boards, Tuscaloosa Tourist and Sports Commission and Park and Recreation. That is on page 22 for your approval tonight. Page 23, authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed to purchase from LCT Holdings LLC for property interest at 3263 18th Street, Lot 4. You heard that at Properties Committee last week. Moving on to page 3 of the agenda, top page 24 of the agenda. Be authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed to purchase from Joel Hastings tax sale interest at property 3425 29th Street for $1,300. You likewise heard that at Property Committee last week. Page 25 and 26, declaring 3 properties surplus and authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed to SJ Holdings. You heard at that Properties last week. Page 27 to 28, declaring 5 lots surplus property and authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed to O&J Properties. That likewise was heard at Properties last week. Page 29, declaring lots 67, 86, and 87 of East Lake surplus property and authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed to Herbert Petty. That was heard at Properties last week. Page 30, declaring lots 39 and 40 of Moton Court surplus property and authorizing the mayor to execute a quitclaim deed. Total of $3,303.62. That was heard at Properties last week. And that's all I have. As of now, I do not know of any suspended rules nor executive session. Do you have any questions for me?
Great. Any questions for Mr. Bobbitt? Thank you so
Thank
much,
you, sir.
Tom.
Thank you, sir.
We do have an easy afternoon, so, well, it won't be, it'll be an interesting afternoon. Projects 2:30, Finance 3:15, then we'll be back at 6 o'clock for council. Historic preservation meets Wednesday, Thursday, special call Elevated Advisory Committee. That's concerning the bridge?
No, sir. That is we're at the point now of having to make a decision by Thanksgiving of whether we want to have the final design move forward with a 100,000 square foot, 30,000 foot, with a 30,000 foot ballroom, or move forward with the 72,000 square foot conference center with a 20,000 square foot ballroom. This is just one of the many input meetings that we will have.
Thank you for that.
So-
Thank you for having that, first of all.
Well, if people ask questions, please come if you've got time on your schedule. It's really more or less a town hall just to hear what people think. No decisions certainly are gonna be made at this point, but, I'm glad you brought that up, Mr. Tyner. I would please, dig in as much as you can on this matter over the next, let's see, what's today, 11th? Probably this time next month, Mr. Busby will have to add to a crowded finance committee agenda this as well.
Long as we see it coming, which we are.
Yeah.
Mr. President, to add to what Walt's saying too, is today in projects, what we talk about with the architectural contract that's coming is all under the assumption of the 20,000. And what has been presented, what has been vetted, what we've all talked about, it's starting that process. And then we would have to do some type of revision if we decided to go to 30,000 square feet or
Yes.
whatever. So we're kind of dealing with what we vetted, but we've got to make an important decision.
So are we making that decision presuming that the potential expansion would not impact the selection decision?
It wouldn't impact the selection. These would be the design professionals. The reason why the November date is in place is it assumes that we begin construction in first quarter of 24 with opening in last quarter of 25 or first quarter of 26. So if you delay that decision, the delay would be on the construction timetable.
I had the opportunity to visit the event center, convention center in Muscle Shoals area recently. And their big ballroom has just over 11,000 square feet. Now, I think that's the nicest facility I've ever seen in Alabama for something like that, which means either way we go, I think we're gonna wind up with the nicest facility in the state. 30,000 would be fantastic. I guess it's just if we want to spend that much money.
I think that's Mr. Busby and I were having that conversation. I think the want to is the easy part of this situation.
And with me, the want to is because of what you can get at 30, as
Yeah.
opposed to what
But,
you get at 20.
but what we're gonna also need is for people to be able to fly into Tuscaloosa to go to these events. And I know
$5 million of repayment today.
Right on time.
Audrey is preparing, she's asked Johnson to prepare us what they believe would be, if you went to 20 to 30,000, how much more does that generate for you? So we're gonna get that information for you so
Good.
that you can have that to look at.
Interesting you said the airport. One of the things I learned from insurance meeting yesterday was our liability or our insurance will go up at the airport because of the extension of the runway.
Really?
Mhm.
You'd
Is
have
that
thought
right?
it'd been the other way
Bigger
around.
planes
Isn't that
come
right,
in.
Tom?
Yes, you'll have bigger planes.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
And so that learned a lot yesterday, actually, because we're so unique, as you said so many times. We own that.
Yeah.
We own our airport. We own our water. It makes us a unique municipality in many ways.
Yeah, we have a lot of, we take on a lot of things that authorities normally in other places take on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I like that though.
Yeah, I think it would help though, I mean, on some things, if you could share some of these, services, I think that would
The
help.
cost of the services especially.
Yeah, but
Well, I tell you what.
I'm gonna know my line.
Well, also, it was a special ribbon cutting for the River District Park, and it was just a beautiful day. And that scene at night with the crimson and white, it was just, there's just no words to describe it. You certainly don't think you're in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You think, it's amazing. I haven't seen anything like that since some things out in Los Angeles, actually.
Well,
So-
the feedback loop on that has been unbelievable. And then when your corporate partners are showing it all and wanting to be part of it, it's good for as we talk about quality of life is so centric to our economic development model, things like that continue to help us hopefully recruit and retain for the future.
And as Ms. Saban said, they used that big for 5 of the biggest recruits of the season came in this weekend, and they made sure that they were down there and saw the crimson and white and all that. It's just gorgeous.
I'll share a quick story. I know we're a little early, but I know you know him, but I don't have permission to say his name. But I ran into him at the gym the other day. I hadn't seen him in a while. And
Ooh.
I can't say. And he has been a longtime friend and supporter, but I dare say very conservative would be how I would say. And he said that, I didn't know what you were doing building that park down there, but me and my wife went down there and walked around for an hour, and we came back yesterday and decided to have lunch out there.
Yeah.
And we just appreciate that park and
Nice.
being and sit by the river. And I said, well, it's been part of our vision for a long time. I'm glad we could achieve it as a community. So
Absolutely.
I think people will continue to enjoy it.
I was sharing with you, I know there was inquiry when it would open because there was someone waiting to propose to their marriage.
Did they do it?
Did they do it?
Put down?
Did they propose yet?
No, but it's coming. It's coming soon.
Yeah, that's where they want to be.
Vicki, is there any update on Squirrel Gate?
The squirrel is in our
They said we had a
box.
video.
It's
Could you play this video for us real quick?
Right?
So did we
See, why
determine it
didn't
was
you
a
check
squirrel? I
that
thought
on
it was a chipmunk.
It was really
Where you-
Chipmunk.
In here?
The last,
the building and
chased
they,
me down the
the
hallway.
last briefing I have a chipmunk.
I think it's Chief Blankley's fault. We need tighter security.
think he blames the squirrel abuse.
I think it's reincarnation from somebody who used to work in City Hall. Coming back. I'm gonna get everybody.
Could be an omen for today.
October 20th, that personnel board meeting in Sister City. So, one other thing, first of all, our deepest sympathies to you, Chief Smith, on the loss of your mother. We've all had you in our thoughts and prayers for sure.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Speaking of firemen, I think Raven, we sat at the same table last year, I believe. But anyway, the firefighter appreciation banquet is October 24th. Please attend. It is a great night, and you see these great firefighters and their families, and when they get honored and recognized as they should, it's to see the kids is my favorite part. To see the kids when their daddy, again, they get to come up on stage with them, and it's just a really great event. So I hope y'all will be able to attend. I haven't RSVP'd yet, but I'm sure going to here shortly. So
And we did have one more thing I wanted to make an announcement on, Thursday, this coming Thursday from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, at, University Mall, we will be holding our Fire Expo. This is the first one since COVID, but, you know, we're asking everyone to come out, families. It's gonna be a nice event, be able to see trucks, see demonstrations, hands-on CPR, there'll be some food trucks there, so we're looking for a good evening that night.
That's wonderful. That's one good. University Mall 4 to 7.
Yes, sir.
And 2 weeks from tonight is the annual Tech Retreat out the Gateway. I know, Raven, you've been out there before. We had 2,000 kids last year. It was unbelievable. It started out maybe 200 the first year, had over 2,000 last year. It's free, it's safe, it's for the entire city. Vendors, Halloween movies, magicians, free candy, games, all that great stuff. 2 weeks from tonight. Cassius, congratulations on your meeting last night. That was a great turnout.
Oh, yeah. It was a really good meeting. I was able to answer all the questions. Selma helped me out in that SIBO, but we had one thing I need to speak with Chief about. What can we do about deers and foxes? I told him I'm gonna have Chief reach out to him and see what we can do.
No coyotes?
They called me about the deer. No, I'm joking, but they really wanted to know. I got deer and okay.
Where
Well,
did they,
I'll
where
see
did
if I
they,
get
where
on
were
that.
they having deer?
Skyland Park?
It's Parkside, but it's
Oh,
near the
yeah.
interstate, so I mean, you
Oh,
can't,
yeah.
they understand, they were just bringing that up, I was like, well, I don't think we can do
James and Rhoda there?
that. Yeah, James and Rhoda, yeah.
I
They helped me
recognize
form.
them in the picture.
Yeah, they helped me set it up,
The mayor and, the mayors of Parkside.
on Parkside, you better believe
It's
it.
good to have mayors in
He
the
had a
neighborhood.
drawer of what he wanted done already, I said, we need to get him a job, the engineer, and he had the road drawn out, like how you want it, so I said, okay, then. But yeah.
I wanna, Sunday afternoon, I was at Hillsdale Neighborhood Association, had a cookout outdoors, and it was just great. I love these neighborhoods that get together and do things like that, and, Brian Gurney really helped me, because there was a lot of questions concerning what we're gonna do to help safety and turn it into Hillsdale, and so it was about 30 people, Sunday afternoon, cookout, it was just beautiful. Great to do. Great. I love us neighborhoods that are still doing things like that.
Right.
Keeps them strong. Keeps me on my toes too. Anybody else?
Yes, I got a email from the band director, Brian, and they just wanted to say thank you once again for the discretionary funds. This past Saturday, they were able to perform at the Battle of the Bands, and they won 4 awards. One is second overall best band, and the students got a lot of compliments on their behavior and just being a great group of students. So they just wanted to say thank you.
That's great.
Hey, you beat Brookwood, right?
And we beat, yes,
And
for
one homecoming.
homecoming. Yeah, we beat.
Yeah, that was a big win.
It was a great weekend for Brian.
It was.
Yeah,
Oh,
was.
my God.
Yeah, we don't want to
If
talk
you're a
about.
Central fan,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love Central too.
I know,
Go
we
Falcons.
already played well.
We're gonna be
But it
coming
would've
back.
kept-
We're gonna be coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
It'll get better.
Rodney's doing a fantastic job. We just gotta keep his spirits up. That young
No
man's
doubt.
gonna do a great job.
Tough year.
And I have,
Oh,
to
yeah.
get, I have to get used to the fact that majority of my constituents go to Northridge now, so I've been having to go across the river and attend some Northridge games.
Good for you.
It's good for me.
But guess what, they go to Central and Northridge too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
We need
together.
all 3 of those schools, correct?
Yep, it's heartbreaking to see. We just want to do better.
Athletic-wise, especially.
Anyway, anybody else have anything to bring for pre-council? Any staff, anybody? Okay, is there a motion we adjourn?
So moved.
Motion to adjourn, all in favor say aye.